In this lesson, I want to share with you my top tips for things to not do when investing in cryptocurrencies. So hopefully you can learn from the mistakes that I and other members of the community have made before you. You don't need to repeat our mistakes. The first thing, be ready to make mistakes. It happens to all of us. Anyone out there who says that they've never lost a trade, they've never lost crypto, or made some kind of mistake, they're probably not being very honest. Because everyone's done it at some point, even if it's a small mistake. Mistakes happen. Learn from them. Treat them as the valuable lessons that they can be. You're paying to learn when you make these mistakes using financial instruments. A missed learning opportunity to become a better investor or a better trader, that's worse than losing just a few dollars. Okay, the next one's probably one of the biggest things that you have to be aware of, and that is to take your security very, very seriously. This is magic internet money. The incentive for bad actors to steal that is very high. Do not use an exchange and treat it like a bank. It's not a bank. And the internet is full of sad stories of people who thought that an exchange was a bank and then lost their cryptocurrency. The reality is that exchanges get hacked. The founders of the exchange die in mysterious circumstances and the crypto disappears with them. All sorts of crazy can happen out there. You will also, of course, hear many stories about wallets being compromised. In almost all cases, it's because of sloppy storage of private keys. And while wallets like Exodus are fantastic if you are holding on to really large amounts of cryptocurrencies, we're talking, thousands and thousands of dollars worth, you will likely want to invest in a hardware wallet at some point, a wallet like the Ledger Nano. And speaking of security, get two-factor authentication on all of your exchange accounts. Most exchanges will push you quite hard to make sure you get that set up, but please do it. And do it with a Google Authenticator, not with a text factor authentication. Because particularly in the United States, you can have your SIM swapped, and when that happens, the hackers can access your exchange and steal your money. This secondary step for two-factor authentication is an absolute must for your security and has personally saved me during a data leak where email addresses and passwords for exchanges got exposed. The only thing keeping people from what I had on my exchange account was two-factor authentication. And also be aware that scams are everywhere. Phishing emails, spoofed websites. Pro tip, save the link in your bookmark for Kraken or Binance, whatever exchange you're using. And of course, there's all the straight up scam coins out there looking for your hard earned money to be invested in their ICO or whatever else it might be. Also, never believe in a company which guarantees a daily percentage payout. If someone's saying they're going to pay you 5% a day, it's too good to be true and it's a scam. If you are ever in doubt and you think something sounds too good to be true, go and ask a few people about it. Ask a friend, ask a family member to say, hey, does this sound right? Did the math add up here? Is this something that sounds realistic? Ask people on social media about it. Ask in forums. Never be afraid to miss out on something. And particularly never be afraid to ask questions or to look stupid by asking questions. Because you know what's actually stupid? Not asking questions and getting scammed and losing all your money. There will always be another opportunity out there. Almost nothing is ever super time sensitive. Someone's saying you have to invest right now or it's going to be gone. Trying to scam you. Be careful. Recovering from a large financial loss is not only demoralizing, but it can also ruin your opportunity to invest for months or even in some cases for years, depending on how deeply you got scammed. Please be careful. The next big mistake to avoid is rushing into trading or mining without knowing what you are doing. A lot of journeys into crypto resemble this. Wow, Bitcoin's amazing. I need to buy as much as I can, as quickly as I can. Wow, I can mine Bitcoin? I need to invest in mining hardware ASAP. Wow, I can make money trading. I need to start doing this as soon as possible. So, there's two parts to this here. We've already talked about mining, but I want to give a few more notes on it here. The fact that there are now actual money printing machines that anyone can buy, it sounds absurd, but that's exactly what cryptocurrency miners are, and it's what they do. They make new digital money. And yes, it's true. You also can make a great profit by mining Bitcoin. But do not run out and just buy a bunch of secondhand Bitcoin miners or even new Bitcoin miners without doing a lot of research first. Miners are loud, miners need a dedicated space, miners are super expensive to run. They're very, very energy hungry. And if you don't have cheap electricity, your ability to be profitable is far from certain. Miners also require at least some kind of basic understanding of technology, even though most of them these days are kind of almost plug and play. Still need to do a little bit in the background to make sure you can get it set up. Miners also get outdated very quickly because mining is a high competition industry. It has a very high turnover of machines. So do a lot of research before buying any hardware. And really, do a lot of thinking to decide if you even need to do that at all, because you don't have to. You can just buy and hold Bitcoin. And then there's trading. I know, sounds like a great idea. I'm just gonna go trade and make a bunch of money. If it was that easy, everybody would do it. The overwhelming majority of traders lose lots of money. You have about a 90% chance of losing. But in spite of those odds, a lot of people go out and trade because the lure of getting rich is very, very real, especially when you see how big the gains can be in crypto. Why do so many people lose? Well, one of the biggest things is they do not take the time to actually learn how to trade. Becoming even mildly successful at trading will require many, many hours of learning indicators, reading charts, and all this fun kind of stuff. Understanding how to properly manage your risk when trading, and of course, having a cool head. All important stuff. And look, there's a lot of great free resources out there online. They'll teach you the basics of how to trade, but likely you're going to want to invest in a proper, dedicated course to learn how to trade. Please understand, though, that you do not need to mine, you do not need to trade, right? You can just invest in crypto. You can just buy and hold Bitcoin or Ethereum or a couple other cryptocurrencies for the long term. Have a plan when you go in, understand what your exit's going to look like at some point, and that's all you have to do. You don't have to stress yourself out with thinking, oh, I need miners and I need to trade and all this stuff. You can keep your life much more simple than that.